Hey my lovelies, I hope you're all safe and well. It's Mitch here. I'm just coming on to do this Monday's guidance video. Apologies if I look a little bit tired. I am a little bit hanging today, as in spiritually hanging. It's been a lovely sort of day or weekend, but it's been full on, it's been quite busy. I was obviously over in Stoke-on-Trent at the weekend, having a little bit of a cheeky working holiday, which was amazing. And we were actually staying in this kind of cabin in the woods place. It's called Corrie Walk Lodges, which is really beautiful. It's really lovely. And they have different levels in terms of, you know, how grand you want the lodge to be. So we were in like the very basic kind of rough and ready accommodation, but the more expensive ones have like hot tubs and everything else. We couldn't afford to have that on this particular occasion, but it was actually really lovely. And what's cool there is it kind of forces you to go off grid. It forces you to go back to basics. So there was very little kind of Wi-Fi and everything else, just literally connecting and being in the woods, which was lush. I just really needed that. So we had a lovely bit of rest and recharge and switch off time. And it started off very sunny, very lovely. And then, you know, it was like 2 hours until the show. And then like the heavens opened up and we literally had flash flooding. We had one of the wildest storms I think I've seen for quite a long time. So I just want to say to everybody that came to brave mine and Mel's night of mediumship at Checkley Community Centre, thank you so much for coming. It was a beautiful night of mediumship, some amazing messages, some amazing connections made. And just want to say thank you so much for coming to brave the elements, because literally like the roads were flooded, the storm was wild. It was a crazy one. My microphones were kicking out. It was a bit of a one, but we got there in the end. And actually we've had some really lovely feedback. I just want to say to the stall holders, thank you so much for giving up your time and coming along. Thank you to everybody that sort of donated for tea and coffee. We managed to raise an amazing £115 to the charity Papyrus, which is for suicide prevention, which was just amazing. So that's really cool. And we had a real fun, a real beautiful night of spirit connections. So thank you to Mel. You were on fire. You were amazing. Your mediumship was just so beautiful to watch. And yeah, it's just really enriching when you have those nights of magic. I was also very lucky to meet a fellow Mel witch, the beautiful Richard from Urban Warlock. So thank you very much for the connection made there. He's an amazing, beautiful soul. Fabulous reader. And also if anyone needs some spiritual intervention, kind of magic, you know, fighting against the dark arts, definitely check him out. Definitely go and speak to him, because he 100% is your guy that can help. So yes. Anyway, what do I want to talk to you guys about this week? So I felt very connected to work with the Gothic Tarot. Not worked with this deck for absolutely ages, but I thought I'll get it out and have a little go with it because it's a really cool deck. This one is by Joseph Virgo. It's quite an old deck, this one, but I just felt very in keeping with all the lightning and everything else that we've been having. So let's just put these down. So these are the cards. Let's give them a little knock. Let's give them a little shuffle. And let's see where the energies are taking us for this Monday and the coming week ahead. So just channeling these cards for the highest of good. Ooh, there we go. Let's see what its message has to say for us. Oh, that literally fell out on the floor. Okay. Ooh, interesting. So we have, now these are quite dark cards, so I might have to pull this in quite close so you can hopefully see it. So we have the Seven of Swords. Now that's interesting with me just literally talking about Richard from Urban Warlock and saying how he can sort of use his magic to kind of counteract any hexes, psychic attacks, things of a lesser nature. Because this Seven of Swords, it's actually all about boundary setting. It's about absolutely staying in your truth, staying in your power, and not kind of getting pulled into any sort of shady shit. And it's interesting. I like the kind of pictation of this because we've got this kind of Gothic vampire that's really sort of standing in her truth, standing in her power. And these swords are almost acting as like a wall, keeping all the cool stuff in, but keeping anything negative or restrictive out. Because what I really feel from this kind of card, kind of as I look at it, I feel quite sort of strongly with this, that there's this, I don't know how to put it into words. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it's like, I'm just checking that it's the 7 because my dyslexia sometimes gets the best of me. I kind of feel like with this, because it's known obviously for like sort of shady shit, it's people with underhanded agenda or behavior. I think it's just a time to go careful. So invest in the great people, invest in those people that really enrich your life, that they really sort of, are rooting for you. But if there are people, that have actually kind of got a hidden agenda, or if they're sort of just wanting a connection, and then they may almost throw you under the bus, be cautious, be aware. I've got a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes that I'm seeing it. I'm not getting caught up in it. I'm just like, whatever, let the circus move along. I've not got time to respond to that. And I suppose what I feel with this as well is don't give away your power. Don't get caught up in needing to give a response or a reaction to things, because I think that this week people may be trying to sort of trigger us. People may be trying to get a reaction or get us to almost hand over some of our magic in a sense, and you don't need to. Keep shining, keep staying fabulous, and if something is triggering you, really hold that before you respond and think, why is that triggering me? Why is that making me feel the way that it is? One thing that was quite interesting at the weekend, and this is something that I actually really hadn't owned before, three separate people all said to me that they felt it was one of the best nights of mediumship that they'd seen for a long time. And people were actually saying that both myself and Mel, two of the best stage mediums they've ever seen. And I've never actually owned the title of stage medium before. I've always kind of shied away from that. And they were saying you really need to start seeing yourself as a stage medium and knowing that it's okay to have the title of stage medium. And in the past, I've been kind of fearful because of this, for sort of gossips, sort of, hearsay, arseholes in the kind of grass, or what they're going to say about stuff. And actually, it was a real nice validation of, for me on a personal level, of like, I've worked hard to get to that stage and I can own that title of stage medium, and it doesn't have to be in an egotistic, cocky way. It's just in a way of truth. So yeah, that was nice. So I think the message this week, guys, focus on where you have power, focus on where you can make a difference. There will always be people that want to trip us up or throw us under the bus. And, if those people are threatened or envious or whatever, it's a reflection of their insecurities. It's a reflection on how they're choosing to vibrate in this world, and it doesn't have to take away any of the magic from you. But definitely be on the awareness of underhanded energy this week, because this card represents, people with underhanded tactics or ways or agendas. So keep the fabulous, great people, the true people, but just bin off, or just be cautious of any snakes in the grass this week. This seems to be a constant message at the moment, because I really feel on a collective level that there's so much empowerment of light versus dark at the moment. We're really going through that in quite a sort of strong way, and I think this is why this is coming out for so many of us. I know a lot of people are battling toxic relationships, ex-partners, things like this, and it's all part of this clearing of the Seven of Swords energy, really. So a couple of cheeky shouts. What do I need to let you know about? First of all, I want to do a big shout out to the amazing, beautiful Thomas Clare, who is the owner of The Moon's Gaze. He's a fantastic pagan photographer and tarot reader and male witch. And I was very lucky to take part in one of his podcasts the other day. I have put a link up for that, which you may or may not have seen. So he's put his podcast with me in. It's the Witchy Whispers podcast. So go and check that out. Give his page a subscription and a like. That would be amazing. Some people in this world, you really just want to see them winning. You just really want to see them doing well. And I've seen sort of Thomas's story behind the scenes for sort of reading for him privately, seeing the journey that he's on and where he's evolving to. And I tell you guys, in time to come, and not that many years, he's going to be a fantastic, famous pagan photographer, and he's going to be a big name in his own rights. And it's going to be an amazing journey to continue to watch. And I just feel so privileged that he entrusted me to be a guest on his podcast and everything else. But yeah, he's definitely going places. And some people are just so lovely and you just want to see them win. And he's somebody that I'm rooting for 110%. So yeah, I've got a lot of time for Thomas. In other news, this coming Saturday, I'm going to be over in Hungerford and I'm going to be at Heart Song Gems. I think we have 1 or 2 spaces that have become available. So pop over to Hungerford Heart Song Gems page, give Evelyn a little message and book those spaces up if you would like a cheeky little reading. Thank you so much to everybody that's been purchasing online voice record readings. I've got quite a big list of people to get through, so I'm going to be working on that over the coming days. So if you've placed an order, know and trust I have received it and I'm working through the list. I've got quite a few emails and things to respond to today because where I've been off grid, there's loads of stuff to come back to. So it's great to have the off grid time, but then it's like, oh my God, we're now in catch up. So yes, I think that's everything. So I'm going to leave it with you guys. Stay fabulous. Thank you so much for the love at the weekend. It really was a beautiful experience. It was a beautiful adventure up in Stoke-on-Trent. And yeah, have a fab week. Be aware of obviously the 7 of Swords. Don't go looking for it, but if it comes to the surface, if it presents itself in some way, you will know how to handle it, how to manage it if and when it appears. Have a cool one, look after yourselves, and I'll see you all very soon. Take care, bye for now.